Good morning. It is Monday, February 1st. It's just before 8 a.m. I am on my way to PetSmart. Genesis is right here in her carrier. I have to drop her off today because she has a comprehensive exam with PetSmart and it's an all-day appointment. So she has to be dropped off in the morning and then they keep her for the majority of the day. And during this exam, she should be getting her teeth cleaned. They check to see if she's up to date on her vaccinations and give her the vaccinations that she needs, checks her general health and gives me any sort of reports back. And then normally, since she's under anesthesia getting her teeth cleaned, I have them clip her nails, and her nails need to be clipped. I think I mentioned a couple weeks ago, like I was nervous about putting her under anesthesia, but they reminded me that they always do blood work ahead of time to make sure that she's like in proper health for them to do that. So, the earliest they said I could drop her off was 8 o'clock. I called yesterday to see if I could change that because I had technically my first class kind of starts at 8 a.m. but it's just a check-in session from 8 a.m. to 8:20. So I'm not really teaching anything new. It's just kind of a touching base, how are you doing, type thing. So I called yesterday to see if there was any way for me to drop her off earlier because I said I teach starting at that time. And they said, well, you can bring her in at like 7:45 to 8. So I said, okay, it's 7:55 now. But what that meant is I had to cancel the check-in session with my homeroom class. So I messaged them yesterday afternoon through Remind and posted on Google Classroom that the check-in portion of our class would be canceled today because I need to drop her off. I didn't say why, but that's why. So I'm gonna drop her off. Hopefully she's in good health. I know that they're gonna report back that she has like the typical things they report back is that she has like a little growth on her chest that's been there for years, that she has a lame, they call it a lame leg, and I really take offense, but her back legs are, you know, not 100%. She takes a supplement for that. I think they also report like her vision, like, and that's really it. She's old, like, so she's not gonna be happy when she realizes we're in the parking lot of PetSmart. But that's where we're going. So I'm gonna leave Riley out today. I'm not gonna put him behind the gate because he's pretty easy to manage, and I don't want him to be all alone back there in the laundry room. But anyway, what do you guys think of my hair like this? So I was going to do a ponytail, but I decided not to. I wanted to see what it looked like down with the headband. Plus, I think it was more like representative of the shirt that I got from Target that says curls, kinks, waves, braids, and maybe in a different order, but something like that. So I wanted to have my curls out in full effect today. So but that's what's going on so far. My first class is going to start in about 25 minutes. My homeroom class, we're going to talk about or get ready for the Diary of Anne Frank. And I will show you what I worked on last night. Nothing else has happened. I did have to just file or contact YouTube because there's a copyright claim for the music on the blog that went up yesterday, even though the music that I am using in the video is from the YouTube library. That's where I use, or that's where I get all the music from to avoid that problem. So I was chatting with someone with YouTube support, and they said that they're gonna have to get back to me because they have to research it apparently. So that's what's happened to me so far on the first day of February in 2021. It is now a little after 12:30. I finished teaching. Excuse me, I'm eating a snack. A couple of these yogurt covered pretzels from Trader Joe's. I finished teaching at 10:50, and then I had a PLC meeting from 11. I'm not sure how long it took. It was probably about an hour, if not a little bit more, and we had to grade samples of the district assessment that the kids took last week, just the essay portion. So we grade those using the rubric provided as a group, and then we submit the scores to the district, and it's supposed to just kind of help direct like areas of opportunity in terms of instruction. So we finished that. And in the middle of the meeting, I warned my teammates that the vet may call, and I would need to pick up the call just to kind of see what's going on with Genesis. And sure enough, they called. Long story short, Genesis is old, like she's going to be 16 this summer. And so she has all these like measurements that they take, like her liver levels, her kidney levels. They're all higher for the most part than normal or than what's average, but they're approximately the same as what they were the last time she got her teeth cleaned, and in some cases slightly better than what they were. So the vet was just giving me all that information and letting me decide, do I want to put her under anesthesia to get her teeth cleaned, or do I want to just not have that happen? And so both the vet and I decided, after I said what my choice was, he agreed, that I was going to go ahead and get her teeth cleaned, since her levels are pretty much the same as they were in the year past, and slightly better in some cases, but know that this is probably the last time that she'll go under anesthesia and get her teeth cleaned, or anesthesia for any reason, just because of her age. So he's going to run one more set of tests to confirm that everything is good to go. And as long as those test results come back okay, he's going to proceed. But if for some reason they come back and he's not comfortable, he'll call and he'll let me know. So it's just me and Riley today. Riley is laying, he's been down, where is he? There he is, down there on the floor with me the whole day. Like I've said before, Riley is like, wherever I go, Riley will go. So he's been keeping me company. But I think he's kind of wondering where Genesis is. And so what I have today is I am going to be meeting with that parent and their child at 2:30 to talk through what is it about me and or my teaching and or my lessons that seems to be giving his child anxiety. I don't anticipate it'll be too difficult because I mean, the parent is relatively friendly in the messages. It's just, like I said, just disappointing or frustrating for me to hear that that is the impression, or that is the reaction a student is having to me and my teaching. So that's at 2:30. I am having an admin present with that in case the parent decides that they still want to continue with seeing about having their child placed into another class. I'm not sure how it's going to go, but admin will be present for that reason. And then the rest of the day, I'm just working on making sure I have everything prepped and planned, and primarily working on some grading. So someone asked, like, how was I able to end my day quickly on Friday, and whether or not I lesson plan. And the answer is yes, of course I lesson plan. Language arts is a little bit easier than history because it is kind of mapped out on StudySync, and all I'm really doing is looking for things that I want to include to supplement those lessons, and that does take time. But one of the tips that I would offer is that you just be really diligent about saving all the resources that you eventually find and choose to use, and keep them organized in your Google Drive, so that in years to come, if you're teaching the same, not necessarily lesson, but same stories, or you find a resource that you really like, they're easy to find. And so that's one tip I would offer. And then secondly, planning digitally. I cannot emphasize enough how much planbook.com or something like it helps in that regard. So last week I had all these lessons planned, but we didn't get to it because the interim assessment really took over our lives. So for planning this week, all I had to do was bump those lessons forward. I didn't need to rewrite anything. I didn't need to relink anything. I didn't need to go back and look for anything. I just had to bump it forward. So that's why this past Friday, I was able to finish and feel prepared pretty quickly. That doesn't always happen, but I'm willing to put in the work throughout the week to plan in a way that makes me feel comfortable with the lessons that I'm going to execute. And some days I'm up late and working on it for hours, and some days I'm not. And this past Friday happened to be one of those days where everything was already kind of set in place. So I kind of lesson plan as I need to, but I do plan at minimum a week at a time. So I'm never a planning day by day person. I would rather put in the time and plan at least a week at a time. I used to plan 2 weeks at a time, but 2 weeks in a lot of cases is too far ahead, in my opinion. It's good to have an idea, but sometimes that can be a little too far reaching because you kind of need to see how kids react to certain lessons. As far as history is concerned, that one is more labor intensive because in some ways I feel like I'm building my lessons from scratch. I'm not really following the textbook that we have because I don't necessarily feel like it does the best job. That does take time, but I enjoy it, so I don't mind it. But when it comes to the weekends, like I've just committed to, I don't work on the weekends. Like I just do what I have to do during the week so that on Saturday and Sunday, I'm not worried about it. And someone asked in an Instagram comment whether or not I feel behind, and the answer is no, because we're never going to be done as teachers, and I'm making sure to do what I have to have done during the week so that I can have my weekend. So if that means I have to work until 1 o'clock in the morning on a Friday, which I've done before, I will do that, and just know that it will be worth it on Saturday and Sunday when I get to just lay on the couch if I want to. So that is that. That was a lot of talking, sorry, but I'm gonna show you what I ended up making last night for Anne Frank. I didn't have this made before. It was just something that came to me as I was editing, and I was like, oh, I need to do that. So once again, I found a template using Slides Ago. I think when I searched for something that related to Anne Frank, I either typed in her name or I typed in Holocaust. And actually, I think I just skimmed through. I think I typed in her name and nothing came up. And then I just went to the website. Let me just go here. There we go. I just went to the website and I clicked education, and I just kept scrolling through until I saw something that I thought would work. So you can see they have all different kinds of options. This should look familiar. Well, actually, I don't think I've ever shown you that one, but I've shown you this one. This is the one that I use for the activist speech. So again, I'm not creating these. I'm just finding them from this website. And so I found one that was specifically related to the Holocaust, and I was actually surprised because I just wasn't expecting to find anything that would fit. And that is the one that I ended up using. I'm trying to see what page I found it on. So it was this one here. So I was like, oh, perfect, International Holocaust Remembrance Day. So I clicked that, and when you click it, you're gonna download it either as a Google slide or a PowerPoint. And I think you can only do that so many times. I think you can only do that so many times before you have to set up an account. The account is free, but there came a point where they were like, you've reached your maximum for how many times you can download, create an account to continue. So I just created an educator account and went forward. And so that's the vet. It's not good that they're calling. Hello?
Hello. Regarding Genesis there again. Do you have a few moments?
Yes.
We'll hurry. She's been hanging out. She's been very polite. I'll put some, make sure she's got her water in there now.
Yeah.
We're not going for her dental, and we'll take good care of her, okay?
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay. Hey, that's okay. We'll speak and we'll see each other a bit later, okay?
Okay, thanks.
All right, thanks.
Bye-bye. So, long story short, Genesis has too many things going on for us both to feel comfortable putting her under anesthesia. So the tests that he was running came back at a moderate level with her kidneys. And basically, if I understand what he was saying correctly, because he speaks pretty fast and is giving a lot of information, is she's like at the state, she's like experiencing like a certain degree of kidney failure. And said if she were a human, it would be to the point where you'd want to see about getting her kidney replaced, and that's obviously not something we can do. So we're gonna hold off on cleaning her teeth and focus on like some dietary changes that we're gonna need to make to just kind of maintain and, you know, treat it as best as we can. So it just makes me sad, like she's getting old. So they're gonna do a urine analysis, they're gonna clip her nails and do a couple other things. So I will be picking her up a little bit later today. So that is the update on Genesis. Yeah, I think aside from that, I think what I was showing you guys was the slide presentation that I got from Slides Ago. Bottom line is, like, they have a lot of different options and resources, and you just kind of have to take the time to look through all the options and find one that works best for you. But they're all pretty much formatted the same. You're getting the same style of slides in each presentation. So for me, it just comes down to style, like what you want it to look like, and all of that. So I found this last night, and so what I had them do, let me show it to you in present mode, is we're just building background on Anne Frank. So I wanted to make sure they knew that there were 4 goals with this lesson. We want to know who Anne Frank is. We're going to look at a typical day in her life. We're going to take a virtual tour of the annex, and then we're going to learn about Kitty. Okay, because Kitty is a name that she was addressing a lot of her journal entries to. So first, I showed them this video. Let's see if the link works now. For some reason, the link is taking me to Google Classroom. I don't know why. But this video came straight from the website, I think the Anne Frank House website. So I showed them that video. We did that together as a whole class. And then the next part of the slide presentation, let them know that we were going to spend some time looking at a typical day for Anne and her family and the other people in hiding. So every group was assigned a portion of the day to research or read about, and then they knew that they would be sharing this with the class. Group 1 and Group 8 was actually focused on the people involved. So Group 1 was looking at the people that were actually in hiding, whereas Group 8 was looking at the people that were helping those that were in hiding. So they were all told what section they were going to look at and research, and they all had a link to the same website. So they would click the website, and this group was responsible for the morning. So they were told, you're only reading the section that is titled In the Morning. So they would gather the information from there. They were given their roles. So there's always 4 roles: the representative, the recorder, the fact checker, the timekeeper. That says timekeeper. I need to fix that. And then they each had a slide where they were going to record their information. So they were told, okay, you're just going to make a bulleted list of the things that you think we should know about the topic or the subject matter that you were looking at. So this class had just gotten started. They didn't get to finish it. So this is just what they have so far. And so I thought that is more interesting and more engaging than me going through the website with them and then just reading the information out loud, or even having a student read it out loud. It just kind of broke up the work and still got them to the point where they were going to get the same information had I done it that more boring way. After that, they're going to tour the annex, and that is also from the same website. So they would click here. It takes them to the Anne Frank House website. I really like this website, and shout out to Megan, because I think I saw this first last year when I looked at one of her stories. But they get to take like just a virtual 360 tour. So I just kind of gave them some tips to navigate, let them know that when you open a door, it takes you to another location, that their view had 360 capabilities, and that anytime they saw these icons, they all had meaning, like this will take you somewhere else. This is some additional information in text format. And then this is additional information in video format. So that's about where we stopped with both classes. Both classes kind of left off there. They were in the stages of like collecting the information, and I just kind of showed them the virtual tour. So tomorrow in class, they'll have time to just explore the website, do the tour, and then we'll finish off reading another section of that website that explains who Kitty was, so that they learn that Kitty was just like this fictional character that she was writing to. So that's what I put together last night. I had no intentions of doing that before. It was just, I realized, like, do I really want them to go to the website and just read it, or do I want to read it to them? That's not the most engaging thing. Let me give them an opportunity to work together and just break up the work if I can. So that's what I worked on last night. Hopefully that all made sense. I feel a little like disoriented because I'm thinking about Genesis, but as far as the rest of my day, I have that meeting. I'm going to be doing some grading, and that's pretty much it. I need to call a plumber at some point because I need some help in the condo. But yeah, I'm gonna try and focus on what I need to do and get back to work, but I will definitely check in with you later, especially when I pick up Genesis, so that you guys can see her and see that she's still doing well despite her old age. Jenny. Oh my God. Okay, it is 6 o'clock in the evening. I just got home from picking up Genesis from the vet. She is eating because she has been fasting all day. And Riley, he's not going to admit it, but he's excited that she's back home. He hasn't eaten all day. more so probably because he's stressed, and also because he won't eat unless I'm like downstairs with him. I think the last time I talked to you was right after I got the phone call from the vet about Genesis, and then I was sharing some slides with you, or the Google slides that I use with my class today to prepare for Anne Frank. What ended up happening is that test came back, her levels were, did I say this? I don't know if I did. Her levels were higher than what he was comfortable with. And so we didn't clean our teeth or anything like that. And ever since that phone call, I just have felt like unsettled. And I think just hearing him say like that she has like kidney failure is what caused me anxiety. So it doesn't mean that she's, you know, her days are numbered in the sense that like she's got like a day or two to live. It just means that she's old, and this just comes with age, and it's not something that came out of the blue. It's just, you know, something that's crept up because she's older. So she's gonna need to have a special diet and be able to have access to water at all times, which is already the case. But I think it just, I don't know, I think today just either confirmed or reminded me that she really is old. And I think that makes me anxious and sad at the same time, but she's home, she seems okay. I think she's just annoyed that she was there all day and hadn't had a chance to eat. So that happened. I had the meeting with the parent and the administrator. Overall, the meeting went well. I think at the end of the day, it's just a difference in communication styles and a misunderstanding. So as of right now, we're gonna try and work through things and give it like a week. And if after the week, the parent and the child still feels like they want to be transferred to another class, and that's their choice, and I have no choice but to accept that. But overall, the conversation was cordial. It wasn't like tense or contentious. So that's good. And then I just couldn't do anything else. I did share a little bit on Instagram about Black History Month, since this is the 1st of February, and just kind of gave my perspective on what I feel teachers should be thinking about as they go into this month of February. So you can check that out in my stories. I will probably save it under the highlight. I think I have a highlight that says be brave, so I'll save it there if you missed it. But that's it. I feel like I haven't made effective use of my time today. Mondays are really the days where I have to kind of get some things done, but I had a PLC meeting today. I had the parent meeting. I had all this going on with Genesis that had me a little distracted. So I don't know what to do right now. I'm supposed to cook, but I just, like, my mind feels like it's everywhere. And so I feel like I just need to sit down and be still and be quiet for the rest of the night. I'm not sure what's gonna happen. I'm not sure if I'm gonna cook, but I am sure that I'm gonna go ahead and close out this vlog here just to kind of quiet my mind and get myself right. So if you enjoyed today's vlog, please give it a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, make sure you do that. And, you know, head over to Instagram and follow me there. Leave a comment if you would like, and I will respond as soon as I can. And I think that's it. I hope you guys are well, and if you are not well, as always, please be well, and I will see you guys tomorrow. So see you then.